Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the program. Is my eye red? What did I do here? Well, ignore that. I don't know if I poked myself while I was sleeping. Nevertheless, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program. Life is going at an incredible speed. The chat is blowing up. I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as I can. Baptiste said, sad life, RJ. Gee, thanks for starting me off on that pleasant note. Big Country said Jess sent me. Yes, Jessamine Duke is sending a lot of people. I think she just transported her chat into this chat. Ty said, I'm here because he can't me in his own chat room. Just watch me. Dixie said, hey, RJ, here from Jess's channel. Well, that's great. Gavin Forsong said, everyone's saying Jess sent them, but I'm saying Ty5 sent me here. Well, I'm ignoring her, so never mind. Charles said, where can RJ be? Where can he be? Well, it's 9:30 and I'm here now, so relax. Stacy said, unrelated, but totally related. I'm now, in fact, downloading Odyssey, the ebook, Homer's Odyssey, and I'm proud of you. Stacy said, well, I bought Origins thinking it was Odyssey. I don't know video game. Jasmine said, everyone, be extra nice to RJ and watch how uncomfortable it makes him. Gee, it's so nice that you're taking over control at this vulnerable time for me. Val says, good morning, y'all. Sean says, hey, everybody. Jordan says, good morning, fellow citizens. Good morning to you. I think Jordan's podcast last week, maybe. We talked about people chewing, and they didn't like it. Nails said, hey, everyone, good morning. Looking forward to the camo this morning. Thank you for the segue, Nails. These are camouflage. I don't know if you can even tell that I'm wearing them. If I really wanted to be camouflage, I'd be wearing some sort of wood laminate pattern or perhaps some sort of marble pattern. But alas, here we are, and I need to go out in the brush. Diana said, good morning. I hope you have a good day. Nail said, hey, cutie, with an emoji of meat, which is very sweet. Nail said, it works both ways. I visit Jessamine stream because of RJ. Yeah, take that. Gavin said, he said Homer. Yeah, I do say Homer, and I will continue to say it. Clarence said, hi, RJ. I'm doing yoga in my briefs to start the week right, and good for you. And I am often brief when I do yoga. Charles said, why else would we be nice to RJ other than to make him uncomfortable? LOL. And then he put a space after the word uncomfortable before the question mark. Poor syntax there. Sam A said, J. Duke sent me here. Well, thanks for that wonderful insight. Stacey said, well, I read The Real Odyssey years and years ago, but I'm happy to be here now. Good perspective. A million conversation pieces says, hello all. Hope the citizens are doing well. Ketley Foncia says, I love you, RJ City. I will think about loving you too. Baptiste Buck said, do you still wrestle? Baptiste, man, I don't mean to alarm you, but some things have been going down and nobody seems to be wrestling right now. So if you can hang tight when there's a show, I'm sure I'll be on it at some point. Eric joined Citizens United, the wonderful membership group, and I salute you. And here's the wonderful Brian Heffern, also known as the Blue Meanie, saying, good morning, sir, taking a sip of his coffee, which I will start doing. And of course, if you enjoy stories about the Blue Meanie stopping concerts via his flatulence, I would click on him and check out his podcast. Oh, there's David. Is that the David I'm thinking of? I think it is. The wonderful David Arquette is in the chat with a citrus-themed gift and a little pair that says, you are amazing. Jordan said his podcast is called Let the Hate Flow Through You for anyone interested. This isn't just me plugging my own stuff because I was in fact there. Yes, that counts as a co-plug. Spot said, I wanted to be Maury Amsterdam in the writing room on the Dick Van Dyke Show. I wanted to be Mary Tyler Moore. David's here. Everyone's saying hi to David. Let's get scooping, or let's talk about what did I say just let's talk about what we're making today. It's called Smart Ass. It's medium. It's ground. Ooh, well, this is apropos. It says it's cheeky, bright, precocious. How do you say that about a coffee? I think it's a little sneaky. It takes its time. Just stop attributing human characteristics to food. Rebecca said, hey, Ty 5. Charles said, David Arquette is in the room. All is well now. Well, now we're in trouble. Please sing Midnight at the Oasis in honor of Fred Willard, said David. Of course, Fred Willard passed away yesterday. Oh, Bill sent a lovely goldenrod donation. Thank you. It was very sweet of you, Bill, saying good morning. Fred Willard passed away. He was in this wonderful movie called Waiting for Guffman. Also in the movie is David Arquette's father, Louis Arquette, who was in a bunch of Christopher Guest things. It was also pointed out to me that David Your Father Lewis is in The Great Outdoors with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. He plays a bartender. And this is a song that Fred Willard sang with Catherine O'Hara. Midnight at the Oasis, doom, doom. Send your camel to bed, doom, doom, doom. You don't have to enter, dancer, and I can be your sheep, boom, doom. Midnight at the Oasis, doom, doom. To bed, doom, 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 doom. Harem, honey. Oh no, as I take you for a ride. And then she jumps on his back, and he's in tremendous back pain. Oh, the wonderful Fred Willard. That is so sweet. Jessamine Duke says, precocious coffee. I'm suddenly disappointed by my own coffee. Yes, as we all should be. Eric said, similarly, do we have to stop calling people delicious? Yes, it's wrong. People taste terrible. Would I star in a Steven Seagal movie? Sure. Let me run my face against the wall a little bit to get prepared for his look. Ty said, you just said bartender with a thick New York accent. I would like to respond, but I'm ignoring you. What wrestling brand do you wrestle for, says Baptiste Buck? Well, I recently signed with an organization called the American Wrestling Association out of Minnesota with Vern Gagne, and I'm proud to report for duty. Tyler sent a wonderful goldenrod request, donation. And I don't even know what his face looks like. His picture is of a ball field. Well, I hope you like baseball because I do too. Thank you, young man. David said, next time I'm asking for something by Alan Thicke. In the thick of the night. Do you remember his talk show? He had a talk show called Thick of the Night. It wasn't so hot. Victor said, my dude has a voice. Stacy said, right? I would also like precocious coffee. I like food with human emotions, but not in a sausage party kind of way. Nell said, how are you doing, RJ? Do you think David is watching this in a big hat? Well, of course, David and I guess last or this week, depending on how you start your weeks, had a little chat on Zoom for everyone to see on the WWE YouTube channel. And we did our old large hat routine. Let's get scooping, but let's be precocious about it. I don't want to rush into this. Midnight at the Oasis. Send your camel to bed. You don't need no answer, dancer. It could be your sheep. There we go. You know what? Today's going to be a long day. I can feel it already. Oh, there we go. David sent. Oh my goodness. What, is that a fuchsia? That's a fuchsia donation. That's very sweet of you, David. And I'm going to continue mentioning your father's credits because this is the trend. David's father is also in Ready to Rumble. He plays the father of Jimmy the King. And who plays Jimmy the King's mother is wonderful character actors in a bunch of Jerry Lewis films known as Kathleen Freeman. R.W. Parnell says, yeah, Minnesota. I mowed Vern's grass. I hope you're speaking literally and not in innuendos. But either way, that sounds amazing. Spot Center said, Thick of the Night or Fernwood Tonight? Well, Fernwood Tonight was a parody, and Thick of the Night was trying really hard to be funny and was not. So Fernwood Tonight all the way. Dixie said, yes, coffee. David said, facts of life, please. Okay. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. You been to bed, the facts of life. The facts of life. The facts of life. The facts of life. These are it's just odd, short theme songs. Thank you, David. RW said, my best friend's dad fixed Vern Gagne's lawnmowers. Well, this is a connection, and I'm proud to exploit it. Brian says, does your precocious coffee have Betty Davis eyes? No, but it has her skin. Jessamine Duke said, RJ was the only person that saw multiple people tweeting about being on that Zoom call. RJ was the only person that I saw What? Multiple people tweeting about being on that Zoom call. Oh, yeah, I know. They had everybody else there. Ric Flair, what? Maria Menounos. You need a Zoom call carried? You call me. Eric said, are these the style diesel underwear with the hole in the back? No, there's just a hole in the legs. I mean, they will be later, but that's after I've had my ice cream. David applauds. Jordan is quoting David's father in Ready to Rumble. I ought to kick your ass, freak. Nail said, Jessamine, RJ is so hot right now. All the rage, the talk of the town. Yeah, I'm really on the up and up. Super J. Peterman said, you're so adorable. Can we see your bare feet? I bet they're hot. Super, it's a price. I would do it for a price. You don't have the money. Ty said, wow, I've never heard those lyrics before. You see? Aaron said, RJ is clearly not a Facts of Life fan. In passing. Body Slammer said, hey, I noticed all the stainless steel. Who polished it all? And are you careful not to get too many fingerprints on it? Yes, you have to be very, you have to go like this. And I wear gloves when I touch the fridge. Hope said that was great. David said, even I know more than that. Phoning it in. Game of Thrones, Naked Shane Bell. Why are you just mentioning shows I haven't? Why would I be watching the Game of Thrones? That was like, that aired 30 years after I was alive. The Double Rainbow guy has passed away all the way to heaven. You know what? I didn't know the guy. You know? I had no idea who this Double Rainbow guy was. Everyone was incredibly sad. Maybe, David, let me know, since you did send so many donations, I can sing the Rainbow Connection for you. That's fine. That I know. Leo said, have you ever seen Dr. Katz? Yes, I have, and I love it so much. It's fantastic. And they're pretty much all on YouTube now. I love watching them. Bill said, did you read what type of coffee you were having this morning? Yes, I did. I'm sorry, Bill. I'll recap for you. It's Smartass Medium. It says it's cheeky, bright, and precocious, like someone else I know. 1 second, please. Just for David and the Double Rainbow guy, I think while I pour the coffee, I'm going to sing the Rainbow Connection. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. I know the other verse too. Who said that every word would be heard and answered when wished on the morning sun? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailor? I've heard they're one and the same. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. Something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da do da do da da do da do do. There, now I feel rectified. I'm back in business. David said the only lyrics he knows all the way through are from Frogs. Yes, I know. Hello, my baby. I do know all the lyrics to that. Did Dr. Katz inspire great moments in wrestling? Actually, Leo, the animation style, yes. Those are originally YouTube videos I did just talking to the camera. I had those written years and years and years ago. They're on my YouTube channel. It's just me talking, telling the story. And then Solus, who is a wonderful animation company, came with the idea to animate them. And I felt like it was befitting of that style. And I think they did a lovely job. A Million Conversation Pieces said, can't hear that without seeing Kermit singing it. But also, Willie Nelson does a version, and so does Rick Charles. Stacy said, your stream is everything Jess would be and more. Well, my apologies. Neil said, did you see Gilbert Gottfried video putting Danhausen over? Yeah, but it was a cameo. I mean, somebody paid him to say. I mean, if you want to pay me, I'll put Danhausen over too. Charles said, did you ever sing to David Arquette when there's just the two of you together in a non-public setting? I must have, David. I must have. I had sung in the car or something, right? We just have all these rainbow emojis. Aaron has it's a rainbow, a frog, and then my emoji from the channel. That's so sweet of you, Aaron. Spot said Kermit or Sally Fields in Smokey and the Bandit. Bert called her Frog. Pick your favorite frog. Oh, Kermit all the way. I would like to see Kermit do the Boniva commercials instead. Chris said, morning all. Hope everyone's doing all right. Hope said, I love the Muppets. That was beautiful. Bravo on the singing, said Sokaria. And there's the cartoon me emoji. Clincy Andromeda said, RJ, how are you doing? I was doing bad until I sang the Rainbow Connection. These songs have become very therapeutic for me. Neil said, Warhorse has been ordained. Would you let him marry you? I think Warhorse should marry me and Danhausen. I think it's about time we had another wrestling wedding. And the Effie can stop it. Super J. Peterman said, I'd love to see you and Mario Cantone together again. You guys are delightful and hysterical together. When I'm allowed to go back to New York, I will definitely make that happen. Nail said, do you think you are the best singing wrestler? Absolutely. Only perhaps Nikolai Volkov could match my siren song. David said, how does someone become a member? Well, you have to hit, there's a below. If you scroll down, hold on. Someone sent him the link. If you scroll down, you'll see a join button, and then you click, and then there's a whole thing that explains it. If someone can send him the link or help this poor man. Jeff said, do you have any Fred Willard memories? Well, I didn't meet the man. However, I was a long admirer of his work. My favorite is Fernwood Tonight, and then all the Christopher Guest films, Waiting for Guffman, and then a lot of people have been tweeting his speech in Spinal Tap about his hair getting long. It's very sweet. David said he's the bestler, the best singing wrestler, and I will say in English, not on my list. David Arquette is also the best, worst wrestler I've ever seen. When it comes to the best, he's the worst. But when you're talking about the worst, there's nobody better. Eric used an adorable Hulk Hogan emoji. Chris said, wrestling weddings are the absolute best. Would David be your best man? Yes. Clint said, would you like to play with Jessamine Duke again? Because I like her gaming stream. Yeah, I'm just going to clarify. Yes, video games. Bill said, love the Ethel Merman retro. Any other bombastic favorite women in your life? Oh my God. One of my other personal favorites is Kay Ballard. I also liked Kate Smith, even though we can't talk about her anymore. And I loved Toadie Fields. I'm sure I'll get to them all. Hope said, what was your favorite David Arquette movie? I will say it. I liked The Tripper. It was good. I liked it. And I also like The Alarmist with Stanley Tucci. Charles M.C. Brown said, David Arquette, if RJ serenades you, what would you hope it would be and where? David, that question is for you. Leo said, Joe Hendry is a great singing wrestler, but he's not me. Neil said, what mug do you have today? That's a good question. Let me get maybe a pouring. I got the old View one. I'm in a View mood. I want to take some time to enjoy the View, and I think Mario lives in that building there. Big Country said, good stream, but Jess's stream is better. Okay, not really a competition. I'm not too concerned with going head-to-head in the Nielsen ratings. David said, I'm honored. He's honored to be my best man. Eric said, you play video games? What's your favorite video game, your favorite console? My favorite video game is, well, it's kind of the trilogy. WCW, NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy, all for N64. Those are my favorites. My favorite non-wrestling game, I love Gargoyles for Sega Genesis, based on the bizarrely adult cartoon. It was very intellectual. Spot Center said, everyone is sporting Golden Girls masks on the internet. They are so 2000 and late. You're the original Golden Girls fan. Listen, I had those B. Arthur masks before there was even a pandemic, okay? Eric said, "Marry me." Well, look, you have access to the emoji. It's not that bad. Let's get pressing and then pouring. You know who else sang Rainbow Connection? I believe Karen Carpenter sang it. Yeah, ooh, this is a good one. I can tell already. Jessamine Duke said, "I want to see you play the home improvement game you keep telling me about." I'm going to get on it. Hopefully next week. There is a home improvement video game, and everyone should really watch me play it. The Adventures of Tim. There we go. Oh, this is going to be a smooth. Look at how precocious is. Who's a precocious cup of coffee? Yeah. There we go. Eric said Keith David was in Gargoyles. That's nice. Cobb said nice diesel undies. Val said I really hate the Carpenters. That's what. Yeah, here are the underwear. If you missed it, there you go. You perverts. I don't know why you would hate the Carpenters. It's usually really just people care about Karen Carpenter. I do know a song with the word Carpenter in it. If anyone wants to hear it, please do let me know. Leo said, "Do you think there's an alternate universe where Damian Sandow successfully cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase?" Sure. I think it's also no better or no worse than this one. I think there's still a pandemic. Alexa Green said, "How many cups of coffee do you drink during the day?" Well, if I have one of these, this is like 2.5 cups. And if I have one in the afternoon, it would be 3.5 cups. Jeff said, "If David Arquette was on The Masked Singer, what costume would he wear?" Pretty much anything from his closet is more outrageous than what's on that show. Masks included. I'm sure he's sitting on a bunch of mascot heads anywhere. Spot Center said, Karen Carpenter? Thanks for giving us a skinny on that one. A tasteless joke. Hope said, "My favorite David Arquette movie was Never Been Kissed." It was barely his film. Jessamine Duke wants to hear this song that mentions Carpenter. Fine. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? If a tinker were my trade, would you still find me carrying the pots I made, following behind me? Save my love through loneliness, save my love for sorrow. I've given you my onlyness. Give me your tomorrow. If I were a carpenter and you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? Who sang that? Does anyone know? Who wrote it and who sang it? I know both for some reason. Fast Food Guido said, "Heard Drew Gulak is back on the market. Duet soon? If he pays me my price, sure. He can come into the chat like everyone else. I'm not gonna play favorites." Harry Big Boy Weiss said, "Hey RJ, hope you're staying safe in this difficult time." I'm safe in the kitchen, and this is where I will stay. Easy said, "Does the home improvement game involve smuggling cocaine and ratting on your buddy's kappa?" No, just having fun. Stacey said, "I saw those masks and I kind of want one, but also they're so popular, it's going to be September before you get it." That's true. Everything orders never comes. Jordan said, "If I was a carpenter," yeah, so you know the song. Good for you. Look at these channel members. Love to see it. Thank you, Nails. Ty said, "What is this song?" Wait, Bare Naked Ladies did not say it. David said, "Your thoughts on Drew Gulak?" Nice fella. I think I met him once. Does he have any relation to me? I don't know. Yeah, he's nice. What do you want from me? They're not bad people, but also everyone's nice. You know, nice squats, good calisthenics, good capacity for calisthenics. Leo said, "Who is better, Sugar Ray or Smash Mouth?" Sugar Ray. I think Sugar Ray had better songs. And then that guy always hosted on VH1. Simon said, "Did Bob Dylan say?" Close. Not James Harden, even closer. Tim Harden wrote it, and Bobby Darin had a hit with it. Very interesting. Although, plenty of people have certainly covered it since. Charles MC Brown said, "If you and David Arquette were a carpenter and a lady, which would be which?" You know what? David is very handy. I would be the lady for sure. Everyone is baking bread this COVID season, but who is listening to bread? Who's listening to cake and bread? Harry said, "I would love some coffee right now because I love coffee, RJ." Well, yeah, get some. Eric said, "Drew Gulak is pretty delicious and precocious." Chris said, written by Tim Hardin, sang by the man in black, Johnny Cash. I would say my favorite version is the Bobby Darin one. Do look it up. Jeff said, do I have any Jerry Stiller thoughts? Yeah, he went to school on the GI Bill. He was in World War II, which was very, very, very interesting. And then he was in the Compass Players with his wife, Ann Mira, which was really the precursor to Second City. So he was a pioneer in a lot of ways. And a lot of people don't really know about that because Seinfeld's obviously so popular. Mark McGrath, that's that guy's name. Seriously, said David, I have a vintage Mr. Peanut and Bob's Big Boy mascot costumes. I think you should just do the Masked Singer from your own house and say, it's me. You should have your own episode. Brandon said, you're talking very fast. Amazing. Do you remember that guy who used to do the commercials? He used to pick up the phone and talk real fast? Like he was a double talker. That was his thing. Nail said, David, you still haven't found that join button? We might be blessed with David emojis if you join. Oh, God. David said, speaking of Bob's Big Boy and ungrateful shits, who am I thinking of? Oh, yeah. David took me to the first and only time I was at Bob's Big Boy. Was because of David. He insisted we go, and we had a great time. Sean said, I'm beginning to see the light. Bobby Darin. I don't know if that's a song request because that was not the required amount, but I will sing any Bobby Darin at some point. Bill said, are you going to be a guest on the Blue Meanie's new podcast? Well, that would be a question for him. I don't invite myself in these things. Blue Meanie says, I like to get a cake album and a bread album. Then I make a bookmark. Then I make them bookmark a meatloaf album. It's a real sandwich. Spot said, when David's Soul came out with Don't Give Up on Us, Baby, it was at that moment I became a Starsky guy. Hutch was soft. Yeah, he was. Eric said, Memorial Day sale coming up. Any new merch like RJ towels or body pillows? Unfortunately, no. But I'm working on a couple shirts, so stay tuned. Behind the Grill podcast said, if David wasn't an actor or a wrestler, what would he be? He would be a painter. He would be a graffiti artist on the street saying, hey, KGB, look out, everybody. Nail said, Eric, we need an RJ prayer candle. David said, who squats better, Drew Gulak or Greg Valentine? Greg Valentine squats better, but Drew's the only one who can actually get back up. Let's get a pour in here, shall we? Let's pour and then taste, and then we'll see what to do. Maybe I'll put a little butter in this huckleberry. David Arquette and I wrestled Greg Valentine, and Greg Valentine walked up the ring steps like a bear. Sean said that was definitely supposed to be a request. I don't know. I'm beginning to see the light. Not the required amount, boy. Get it together. I've never heard. Give me another Bob Darin song. I can get it. I can do Beyond the Sea. That's a good consolation. It's a good one. I promise. Let me know if that's okay, and I'll do it. Well, the body pillow is a hit. Val said, if you have some of the best T-shirt designs. If I had intimate money. Well, you do have intimate money, but if you had infinite money, you'd probably buy 15. That's very sweet of you. Spot Center said, can you springboard off anything in your home? I could, but I won't. Cobb said, you're a fan of butter coffee? Yes, I am, and I have it in a little bit. Cobb said Mack tonight, but let me meet Sean halfway. I hope this is okay. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sails and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'll go sailing. It's far beyond a star, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt, my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. No more sailing. So long sailing. Bye-bye sailing. Thank you, Sean. I hope that works. I will look up. I'm beginning to see the light. I'm a Darren fan, and I must brush up. Eric said, camp, very camp. Chris said, let Andrew Everett do all the dives and whatnot. I will. Harry said, I love that song. Blue Meanie said, RJ City is definitely mind of the meanie material. I just don't know if I can keep up with his wit. That's good. I'll do all the heavy lifting. David said, keep it up. It has a very aggressive pair. Insert scary moon face man. Cobb said, RJ is making my birthday by singing Bobby Darin. This is amazing. And happy birthday to you, Cobbs. Harry said, I've got my coffee here and I love it forever. Sean said, fantastic. Thank you, RJ. Thank you, Sean. David said, we did that already. Quincy Andromeda said, well, your voice is amazing. Well, that's sweet. Gavin said, why am I watching this? I want to click away, but I can't bring myself to do it. This is like going to, do you remember this when you were a kid? Anyone ever go to steakandcheese.com? It was like a really gross website decades ago when I was a kid. Brandon said, I'm just so happy you're living your dream of fighting men for money. I'm not doing that today. Nail said, we need a cartoon RJ with the glasses, cigar, Ricky Lake, and kimono, and a shirt, perhaps with a dirty limerick printed underneath the picture. Oh, Lord. Jasmine Duke said, like, seriously, he sings the whole song, and then she used an emoji of her boss. Behind the Gorilla Wrestling Podcast said, favorite of the Three Stooges, Shemp to me is the most underrated. He is so the most underrated. He does a great, Curly was so commercial. But to me, Shemp is where it's at. I love Shemp, and I think you got a real raw deal. Charles Dempsey Brown said, I noticed a few weeks ago your underwear seemed a little cuppy, if you know what I mean. Well, I was just swollen. Now I've just noticed since then, even today, it's very cuppy. What's been going on there? It's the dry heat. Caitlin said, good morning, RJ. Good morning, Caitlin. Nails wants to know what cuppy is. So do I. David said, Moonface was a McDonald's ad. You're thinking of, David, his name was Mack Tonight. That was seriously his name. And they bought the rights to Mack the Knife, which I can also sing if anyone's interested. Yeah, Mack Tonight. Yes, everyone's confirming. Jasmine said, I vote for a shrugging RJ emoji. I need it. Thank you. Nail said, once RJ sucks you in, you can never leave. You're one of us now. Don't fight it. Jeff said, would you eat a Jeff Cobb salad? I don't know how fresh it is. David said, Curly was way better than Shem, proving that David Arquette continues not to know comedy. But he does say, yes, Mac Tonight. What's the opposite of engorged, says Eric? I think wilted. Nail said, yes, I often shrug in these chats. Million conversation pieces, which is Michelle Million, said, Beyond the Sea was in the end credits of Finding Nemo. Probably heard it a million times, as it was my son's favorite when he was a toddler. Now he's graduating on Tuesday. Boy, time flies. And what a way to graduate. Isn't this so weird? Send him my regards and tell him to keep up his studies. David said, I'm confirming. Oppressed Junior said, good morning, RJ. Give us that Mac Tonight rendition. I know the real Mac the Knife. That I can sing if that works for everyone. Someone request Mac the Knife, said Sean. Jordan said, earlier this week, you told me that one of your catchphrases was Serenity Then. That is a t-shirt idea. Nils in New York said, I bet he dances to Mac the Knife. It's impossible not to. Let me just pour a little more and then we can Mac the Knife. You know what? I'll sing it while I'm doing this. Okay. Oh, the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly whites. Just a shark bite, where's old Mac Heath, babe? And he keeps it out of sight. You know that shark bites with his teeth, dear. Scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves load, where's old Mac Heath, babe? And there's never a taste of red. Down the sidewalk, oh, Sunday morning, lies a body just oozing life, which means blood. Is someone sneaking around the corner? Could that someone be Mac the Knife? On the sidewalk, oh, down the river, don't you know? Is a cement bag just drooping on down. That cement is just, it's there for the weight, dear. 5 will get you 10. Old Mackey's back in town. How'd you hear about Louis Miller? Doom, 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 doom. He disappeared, babe. Bump it down. After drawing out, doom, doom, all his hard-earned cash. And now Mack Heath's been just like a sailor. Could it be our boy's done something rash? I said, Jenny Diver, boom, boom, oh, Suki Tawdry, boom, boom, look out, Miss Lottalinia, boom, boom, and oh, Lucy Brown. Oh, that line forms on the right, babe. Now that Mackey's back in town. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Look out, old Mackey is back. Boom. That was Mack the Knife. And it's about, I'm still not quite sure what the song is about, other than a series of murders. But then he says a bunch of words that I know, and only in context of the song, and I have no idea what else it is. David said, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Dixie said, sing it at RJ. Thank you. Behind said, please sing it duet with David. Nail said, it's the faces. Sabrina uses the wonderful B. Arthur emoji, which I debuted on her birthday. Yeah, Brandon said, Mack killed all of these people. That's the song. Clint said, I think you're going to need some kind of instrument. I have an oboe. Ty said, how does he keep all of this in his brain? Think about the things I've forgotten. Oppressed Junior said, RJ, what happened to your hips and crotch? They're completely gone. There had to be at least one camo. See, the sentence made me insecure immediately before I had finished. And then I realized you were talking about the camouflage. David's applauding for Mack the Knife. Sean said, phenomenal song. It is a great song. There's a lot going on. Eric said, Jack the Ripper. David said, and he wasn't a frog. Bill said, what's the longest song you know the lyrics to? That's a great. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. That's a wonderful. I don't know what all the songs I know the lyrics to, I feel like the lyrics are the same length, but it's just long instrumental breaks. Like the lyrics of Freebird or Hotel California, I think are the same length. They're like 2 minutes. And then A Million Conversation Pieces said, I'm attending my son's virtual graduation at the drive-in theater. That's adorable. They're not even allowed to walk. They should drive by and snatch it out of the window. They're just reading their names and showing their picture. Honestly, it seems weird now, but like in 2 years, he'll be like, that was for the best. Terry said, was Jenny in a steampunk version? You're making me all nostalgic. I believe so. Val said, I'd like to move on from people basically forcing their kinks into lighthearted morning chats. RJ handled it so yeah, because this whole thing is not a kink at all. Eric has a mouse emoji, which I've never seen before. It's not mine. David said American Pie. But even American Pie, I feel like the lyrics are fairly short. It's just a lot of jamming and slowness. The beginning is so slow. Jeff said, will you watch this week's episode of Dark Side of the Ring? Yes. I think they're all have been excellent. My favorite one was the Dino Bravo one and the Dave Schultz one. I'm not obviously this one is like uncomfortable. There's a lot I know about it, but the Dave Schultz one was my favorite. Who's sexier? Said Leo. Greg Valentine or Jerry Lawler? Greg Valentine. Greg Valentine's hair is too pretty for his face. From behind, I'm in. Terry Brown said MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park is pretty long too. Nail said, RJ, were you one of those kids who sang relatives' entire songs at Family Get? I was one of those kids. If you had a birthday party, if you and my friend had a birthday party, you'd be hanging out in like one room with all your friends, and I would be in the kitchen entertaining the adults. And they wonder why I'm so socially distanced. Eric said, thoughts on drive-in theaters? They're coming back. They are coming back, and we're going to be, then after you drive your girl up to make out point, and then you can neck. Blue Meanie said, we are currently living in a Ken Burns documentary. We're currently living in a George Burns documentary. Remember that movie with John Denver? Stacy M just joined Citizens United and enjoy all the emojis. Feel free to spam the rest of the world with them. Thank you. It's so sweet of you. David said, Greg Valentine equals sexy hair. He's the sexiest bear, but not in a bear in the homosexual sense. I mean bear as in an actual bear. Swat Center said, I'm in pre-spinning position so we can spin together. Right round, baby, right round. Oddly enough, the Boy George impersonator in The Wedding Singer was David's sister, Alexis Arquette. It all comes around and we're connecting dots. Ty said, do you know the confrontation song from Les Mis? No, I don't. I know a decent amount of Les Mis, but not that. Sorry. Nail said, wrestlers have the best and the worst hair of all the professions. That's for sure. Clint said, ever seen a solar or lunar eclipse before? Not to my... yes, I did. Yes, me and my friend when we were kids, and we made those things where it's like, this is safe for your eyes, and it's like a toilet paper roll, and it was not at all, and it hurt my head. Behind him, what is your favorite Tarantino film? I like Jackie Brown. That's a deep cut. Nails said, welcome, Stacy. Nails will show you around. David still enjoyed. So Kari said, welcome, Stacy. Jeff said, do you know the lyrics of Putting on the Ritz? This is the only part I know. And it's so, no, I know. When you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. That's all I know. Remember when they remixed it? Gatto said, have you ever heard of wrestling shows doing drive-in parking lot shows to run during? I have heard of this. I heard it last week. I heard about it. Will it happen? I don't know. Do I think it will work? Well, like in a novelty sense, but like, I don't know. It will be weird watching and it'll be like, do these people like this? I can't see through the windshield. Maybe if everyone had convertibles. Terry said, Miss Alexis, she was amazing. Million Conversation Pieces says, I think drive-in theaters are the best way to watch a movie. Here, they play 3 movies for like $9, and the food is delicious. That's the proper use of delicious. Yes, it is, because it's not a human. I think it'll be. It's also cheaper to do, too. You don't have to seats. You don't have to vacuum anything. Chris said there's a local theater that's only doing drive-in showings, except it's kids-only films. That's the thing, is that you're playing it outdoors. You know, you can't necessarily play Pulp Fiction or Cannibal Holocaust. You can't be playing in public spaces. You know what I mean? Stacy said, glad to join. Came because of Jess, but staying for the kitschiness. The kitsch will really keep you. I have a real resting kitsch face. Nell said, I only know the Young Frankenstein version of Putting on the Ritz. Put on the Ritz. David said, tell the story of Greg Valentine shooting on the system. Okay, David, I will for you. And Honky Tonk selling for me. First of all, David was smart enough. It was me, David, and another guy from Minnesota called The System against Colt Cabana, Honky Tonk Man, and Greg Valentine. And David was smart enough to buy an action figure, Honky Tonk Man action figure, and get Honky Tonk Man to sign it and pay him some money for signing it before the show. So Honky liked him. David's not an idiot. So then we're in the match, and they locks up Honky Tonk Man and David, and then David takes his arm, and Honky Tonk Man sells on both his knees. And me and Colt look at each other like, oh my God, I've never seen that before in my life. Honky was really earning the money he was paid. And that's how the wrestling works. And then they tagged into Greg Valentine, and Greg likes to fight. And he was like, took that system guy to the corner and gave him one chop, but like he's got a hand that's like almost like a fit. Like his chops just sound like getting punched in the chest because they're brutal, right? So like boom, and we're all like, oh. And of course, Colt starts a one more time chant. And then he does it again, and Colt starts a 2 more times chant. And then he's like Greg starts casually shooting on the guy just for like recreation, just because he's bored and he wants to do stuff. So then he had him in a front face lock, and we're like, oh God, we're in trouble now. And then he turned his wrist over to really make it like, you know, a choke. And we were like, oh shit. And then Colt tagged Greg's back to get him out of there. But it was a hoot, I'll say. Val said, I know the system. And Colt saved his life. Are you a fan of The Last Drive-In with Bob Briggs? Yes, I am, Cobbs. David said, Fortune. It's not Fortune Mania. It's Fortune Bania. Val said, I know the taco version of putting on the Ritz. David with a lovely fuchsia tribute. It's a pear riding a rocket and then it shoots off into space and then explodes. You killed the pear. Nell said, maybe we should invite Greg Valentine for Sunday morning coffee. I have a feeling he's sleeping. Ty said, Colt Cabana with a bunch of heart emojis. Yeah, you can go find him. You can go compliment him on his own stuff. David said, you're not an idiot. And that was a quote from me to David. You're no idiot. For a pretty bird, you should have a sharp beak. Nell said, David, tell him to sing again. Val said, the system is tiny. Not too tiny, but compared, he's not Greg. Nell said, David, that's just every day. Nell said, I love Colt. This is not a Colt Cabana Lifetime Achievement Award speech. I'm trying to run a program here. Oh my, this coffee is precocious. Nell said, RJ, you're lovely. Give him attention, everybody. Sean said, speaking of Colt Cabana, would you ever start a podcast, RJ? Well, I'm doing this for like an hour a week. And then I'm doing Wednesdays, I'm doing After Dark for like an hour a week. And then Fridays, I'm dropping those other videos. Plus, I'm doing exclusive videos for my Key to the City members, which are weekly. Plus, other videos beyond that. I don't know if I have the time or inclination right now. Plus, I am on a lot of other people's podcasts a lot. I'm going to be on, here's a hot tip. I'm going to be on the Nobody's podcast. We're recording it tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember, but that will be out soon. And there's another episode I did with them that's coming out. And so I feel like that's enough right now. And I don't know if that's, I'm not moved to do it. Like, I'm not like, oh, here's, and there's so many of them. I feel like everyone has one. I don't know if it's viable or creatively stimulating for me. I'd rather sing Mack the Knife in my kitchen. Have a good day, everyone. A good day to you, Jeff. Behind said, what's the smartest thing you've ever seen David do? Probably that. Probably pay off Honky Tonk Man beforehand. It was a very shrewd business move. George Burns, John Denver. Oh, God, that was the name of the movie. Thank you, Eric. Leo said, any chance of inviting David Schultz around for coffee? The author of his book, Jonathan Cosper, was very sweet. I loved the book. It was great. And I have a signed copy. And I almost met Dave Schultz at StarCast. I saw him, and I was too nervous to say hello because he scares the shit out of me, and I regret it. I totally regret it. Blumini said, if you want an RJ City podcast, replay this video with your eyes closed. It's a good idea. The chat stands Colt, says Ty. That's great. Aaron put a key and the city to denote the key to the city. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. Terry said, you're the best kind of hustler. Are you doing any more of those DIY CBC spots in the future? No, because they stopped paying for them. And I'm certainly not going to work for them for free. So if you want them to do more stuff, they did cost a lot of money. So tell them you liked them and that you're upset with their current programming and you demand that I be reinstated. Sabrina said, RJ makes great content. And then she did this. Whatever happened to your episode of WrestleSplania with Rachel Millman? That's what I would like to know. I filmed it in like December when I had her do Coffee and Underwear. I don't know. Did I upset them? I have no idea. Cobb said, love your making RJ City videos. And oh my God, cannot wait to see you on Nobody's Watching Wrestling. Love you, RJ. There is one episode up already if you want to search it after this program. Neil said, I love you with the Nobodies collab all the time. Well, when I go back to New York, it will be Nobodies. And I will see Jonathan Santos. And of course, I will see Mario Cantone. Bill said, which talk show did you want David to get you on? At this point, any. First, I was shooting for Dick Cavett or Tom Snyder. And they, I think, are on hiatus. And now I'm just like, anything. He's just not been able to produce. That's why he's throwing these things at me out of guilt, long-term guilt. Because I signed a bad deal and I was holding me to it. Stacy is using her first emojis, BB City. There's two B Arthur emojis and then my cartoon. Very sweet of you. Ty said, oh, yeah, I was supposed to ask about you getting punched in the chest with a flaming fist or something like that. Yeah, that's a good story. So in my younger years, I wrestled a gentleman by the name of Bloody Bill Scullion. And he was terrifying, hardcore, not someone you want to mess with. And his finishing move was called the Flaming Punch. And he took his shirt off and he wrapped his hand in his shirt. And then he poured lighter fluid on it. They lit it on fire. And they punched me in the chest with a flaming shirt fist. And I remember these after I was hit, before I actually fell, it just felt like an eternity in the air. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, am I on fire? I have no way of telling. And it was so terrifying. It was also in a mall. We did it in like the food court of a mall. It was a memorable experience. Nell said, I'm mad at Rachel Milman. She's holding on to an Ethan Page episode too. It's not just you. Maybe she's waiting for me to become more famous. It's a smart idea. David said, I'm trying to explain to him it's 2020. Who are you talking to? It's not so easy. Sabrina said, have a good day, everyone. Good day to you, Sabrina. Sean said, nails the nerve of that woman. Lost Shadow said, Tie 5 summoned me here. Well, isn't that voodoo-esque of you? Stacy said, Tom Snyder. That's a throwback and a half. All of his interviews are on YouTube, and they're very, very good. Very smart. And he's also smoking the entire time. I don't think there's one interview he did where he's not smoking. How flaming would it be to be invited to Effie's brunch? Well, I was not invited last year. We'll see what next year holds. Aaron said, do you know Birdhouse in Your Soul? Sure I do. Sure I do. Here we go. Birdhouse in Your Soul. The birdhouse, the birdhouse, the birdhouse in your soul. The birdhouse, my, it's getting old. When you have a bird with no place to go, tell him that there's one place he ought to know. Tell him to get out the map. Tell him to look at the map. Tell him to travel that map and take it right to your soul, because there's a birdhouse, a birdhouse, a birdhouse in your soul. There's a birdhouse, a birdhouse, a birdhouse in your soul. There's a birdhouse built by Nat King Cole. When you go down to that birdhouse in your soul. That was a birdhouse in your soul by Natalie Cole. It was a Natalie Cole song. Thank you, Aaron. Neil said, right, Sean? I'm putting her on the list with Ruffalo and Wright until she releases the podcast. Good idea. Neil said, I'm on my second coffee. Aaron seems to like the song. Terry said, oh, they might be giants. They may be, but they're all the same size to me. Can you do Somewhere Out There from American Tail, said Simon. Sure I can. Give me one second here. Love that song. Let's go out there. Where? Let's go out there. Where there? Let's go somewhere out there and see what we can find. Let's go out there. Where? Let's go out there. Where? Let's go out there somewhere out there. We're going to see a lot of ships at the dock. Bum, 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 bum. We're going to see some corn on the cob. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba. Put your change in your sock. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, ba. Tuck your shirt in, don't be a slob. 2, 3, 'cause we're going somewhere out there. Where? 'Cause we're going somewhere out there. Because when we're over here, there's nothing out there anymore, because here is somewhere out there. It was an introspective song, and of course, it's from An American Tail. It was wonderful. It was patriotic, and it makes you think about the country. Thank you for suggesting that, Simon. That is so sweet of you. Behind the Gorilla Wrestling Podcast said, favorite iteration of Scooby-Doo. I like the episode with Don Knotts. The classics. Or was it a movie? Spot Center said, I bought a Montreal Canadiens helmet birdhouse last month. I need to hang it up. You do. The birds are coming out. Aaron said, decided to roll the dice on that one because Ellen Green sang a cover of it on Pushing Daisies. Also in Pushing Daisies for an episode was David Arquette. He worked with Ellen Green and then didn't even tell me. Nell said, Simon, what a request. I love it. Simon said, so close. I think I was just slightly off key. Harry said, I'm enjoying my coffee so much, and I know you are too, RJ. There's a bunch of disappointed emojis at me. Clinton said, your voice is almost near Elvis. Sure. Behind said, somewhere out there beneath the pale moonlight. I'll do the singing on the show. Thank you. Jessamine said, exactly. Nail said, Sean, me too. Eric said, rest in peace, birds. Val said, they did hour-long episodes with celebrity guests, and David wasn't one of them. I think he was just an actor. We came full David circle again. That's of every show, I want to tie it back to the career of David Arquette. Stacy said, never heard that version. I don't know why. It's a deep cut, and this is a good one. This coffee is bright, cheeky, and precocious. What's the marketing strategy behind saying that your coffee is precocious? I'll tell you what happens is they got this donkey here. They put glasses on it. People think if I drink this, Cobb said, do you know Cole Porter's Let's Do It? Maybe? Oh, God, I'll give it a shot. Birds do it. Bees do it. Bees do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Do-do-do. Let's do it. Bee do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Is that Cole Porter or someone else? Because we're doing it now, and we'll be doing it then. We'll be doing it here, and they're all doing it around the bend. Birds do it. Bees do it. Even worms in the trees do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Cedric said, you should join WWE. That is a great idea, and I've never thought about it before, and I want to thank you for suggesting that. I was thinking, gee, I want to wrestle somewhere. I wish there was a company that was on TV, and there was a lot of money or something. What's the name? It was on the tip of my tongue, and I couldn't think of it. That's it. Thank you so much. You have changed my life. Spot Center said, are you loved more than Ellen DeGeneres? I would say so. If you put out an open call on Twitter and say, what's your worst RJ City memory, they would be a lot nicer than Ellen's. Val, you just joined Citizens United. Val, hello. And feel free to use the emojis liberally. Behind said, how many songs can we request that RJ doesn't know? We're on a roll this morning. I'm batting high. If they made a Frasier musical, that's another song I can sing, by the way, if you're interested. Would you audition? And if so, what character would you want to? I'd like to play Roz. That is Cole Porter. Thank you, Cobbs. Nail said, no, Cedric, if he joined WWE, they would make him wear clothes. Chris said, I think coffee advertisers should just string random words together and hope folks buy their coffee. That's what they're doing. Bill said, welcome, Val. Jessamine's just this boss spamming. She's Vince spamming. She's Vince trolling. Nell said, welcome, Val. Val is the best person to have in your gang. Well, I am honored, I must say. Dixie said, left my answer. RJ, I can't. Vince, there's so much Vince going on. Eric is dropping some B's. Val said, thank you. I couldn't do it from my phone, and I had to turn on my computer and join. That's why. There is no join thing from your phone, I guess. I don't know. We're learning as we go. And nobody wants to hear the theme from Frasier? David said, great idea to join WWE for you, but they would change your name. Yeah. I would love to be called Laurel Hardy. Jasmine Duke said, you make the emotes. Don't shame me for using them. Fair enough. I encourage you to use them. So Kari said, welcome, Val. Do the moves. Eric said, still waiting for hard fists, limp wrists in black. Ooh, that's a good idea. Let me see if I can dig up that thing. That's a good idea. William said, great hearing you this morning. Great reading you, William. Eric said, you can join on your phone. B7 says, since Val joined, I will too. I am a follower. Look, Val, follow Val to the promised land. Spot Center said, who are the sick parents giving Charlie Brown rocks on how? Man, I hated Charlie Brown. Charles, all the peanuts. Not my bag. Too mild for children. Eric said, RJ Swinger in the Performance Center. Oh yeah, I've heard they have key parties. Leo said, if you joined WWE, they would probably give you the gimmick of a diaper fetishist or something stupid. Yeah, not something noble like wrestler. My new gimmick is that I just show up in people's Zoom chats. Stacy said, I joined from my phone. Oh, so you can join from your phone. I think you need to have like a profile first, and that all has to be hooked up. Dale said, hey, be nice to WWE. Jessamine's here. Look, it's so nice that, I'm in the AWA, and I can still talk to people freely. I think it's incredibly sweet. I'm so happy that can happen. BDSB said, welcome to Citizens United. That's so sweet. Jasmine's trying to use the shrugging RJ emoji that doesn't exist. I will get on it. Calm down, read a book, have some lunch. Nell said, I think David is lost somewhere trying to join. He's just wandering his backyard, saying, does anyone know where Citizens United is? Peanuts is just so bland. Thank you for confirming it, Chris. Eric put a key to the city. Gatto said, my favorite part of Peanuts is the Vince Guaraldi music. It is good music. Boom, 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 boom. FWIW. You can't join from a tablet, but you can join from your phone or desktop. Thank you. BDJSB7, welcome, and thank you for being a citizen. And great use of the B. Arthur emoji. Bravo. Well, I want to say thank you all today. It's been an auspicious day. It's been precocious, cheeky, and bright. And let's keep up the good work. And I will thank you for everyone who joined and for using the emojis. And I think you can use them whenever you want. So go forth and be free. When are you and David going to take on the Rockers for the interview? We're taking on Buddy Rose and Doug Summers first. We got to get through them. Anyway, let's take a final. Oh, David wrote, I don't know how to be a member, but quoting W.C. Fields, I wouldn't want to be a part of a club that I wouldn't want to be part of a club that I was a member of. First of all, David, let's end the program by correcting David. That was Groucho Marx. And he said, I wouldn't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member. That's the full quote. And I'll let you marinate as we get a final look at the camouflage, if anyone can see it. Good day, Godspeed, and God